All right. Here we are once again, live on my YouTube channel with a good friend of mine, Mr. Joe Falisco. Thanks for hanging out here today, Joe. It's great to see you.
Right on. It's my pleasure.
Yeah, man. It's we haven't even literally had a chance to catch up. This will be the catch up because we haven't really chatted it up in a little bit. But lately, maybe you've seen, maybe you haven't. But Hank Shreve came on, and some other good friends who just chatted
Cool.
about what's happening, and just kind of check in. So I thought I'd start by saying, how has January 2025 been treating you, and what have you been focused on, man?
Oh man, it's been much better than last year, that's for sure. And
Yeah.
this is the time of the year in general where I'm kind of putting my thinking cap on and I'm trying to create new materials, more new songs, new workshops, and
Yeah.
I feel like it's been pretty successful. So I'm happy about that.
You willing to mention any of the types of things that you're thinking on about future wise or working on currently in that department?
Yeah, I am creating a one chord uh, shuffle blues. A lot of rhythmic chording, but really focusing on just staying on one chord. I don't know, kind of in the same line of Little Walter and, doing Evans Shuffle and Big Walter doing the Honey Dripper, that kind of thing.
Mm,
And I think it's overdue to have a train imitation study. I think now I know how to put that together as a whole package so that folks want to like get their fundamentals up to the next level. If they feel
right.
like they're stuck in a rut and they want to know what to do, this is going to be it.
Yeah, well, I know they're going to be in good hands if they join you to check that out. Speaking of, I'll mention this that if you don't know this already, but Joe taught for many, many years at Old Town School of Folk Music in Chicago and passed the reins on to some degree throughout the time, maybe towards the end. But I don't know. Is that still happening, by the way? Is the class still happening over at Old Town?
Well, it's honestly, I'm not going to confirm or deny that it is. I will tell you that there are lots of classes going on over there at the school, but I've hardly been in the building since,
Yeah.
5 years ago.
Well, by the way, just to be clear for those wondering, the background is virtual that you're looking at behind Joe currently, which is what probably reminded me of that, a shot from the room. But Joe has been around in the scene now for quite a long time, many decades, influencing generations of harmonica players in the traditional school of blues harp, the tongue blocking approach, and learning from the traditional blues masters and beyond. His influences go beyond just that. And one thing I love about your teaching, and if you want to learn more about it, folks, you should head over to faliscostore.com, Filisko store.com, which is soon going to be going through a revamp, is what I hear.
Yes.
But you'll be finding additional materials making their way there, and it's a great place to support Joe and check out his instructional material. I highly recommend it if you've attended, which many of you have, classes that I've put on where Joe was a featured teacher, then you know what I'm talking about already. Joe's got a knack for teaching. Really enjoy your layered discussion. For example, when we were talking about Sonny Boy 1, that was
Yep.
phenomenal. Really big takeaway for me as a teacher to understand a way to present a player from the perspective of layers of technique and sound that are happening. I loved that. So be sure to do it. And speaking of, let's mention actually that you and I are going to collaborate again. You'll be featured in a class May 17th, The
Yep.
Secrets and Sounds of Sonny Terry. That'll be fun, man. What can folks expect, I guess, to learn about the secrets and sounds of Sonny Terry?
Well, wow, I can talk about Sonny Terry for a long time, but let me just say in the last few years, I came to a conclusion that I had greatly underestimated him, and I think he's the greatest diatonic player that ever lived. So I think I'm going to go into some of those nuances, like what made him special that other players really didn't have. I think that's the quickest way that I could explain it.
Love it, dude. Yeah, he's one of the in my experience of discovering players over the years and studying players, he's more elusive. There are things going on in the background you just don't realize that add to and contribute to his overall sound that are a little sneakier than you might think.
Right,
So
right.
I'm looking forward to that. I'm glad that you are going to be leading and teaching that class for us because I'm excited to also be as much a student in the process of offering that class. And now that I want to switch gears for a minute, we're just chatting, but these are things popping into my mind. You and Eric have been busy, and just I want to say there's something else that's in the can now, recording wise, from you guys coming down the pike here that'll be out down the road. Is that true?
Yeah, we came out with a new record late last year, title of Let's Go,
Mm.
with 12 new cuts. And I feel like what we're doing together, collaborating, continues to grow and get better. I think the songwriting is as strong as ever. And like, really, the big thing for me is that I have been working every day for the last 5 years on my vocals. So my
Nice.
voice has really transformed uh, into something a lot more controlled, resonant, and powerful.
Love it. Yeah, I can vouch. I've been listening to it. I was kind of a leading question just to or a statement to get you to talk about it, but I've also been listening to those tunes. You can catch, but if you're not following Joe, there's a couple channels to check out. I'll post them in the video description after we finish up. But one is a Falisco Method. I want to say it's more of your teaching angle channel, and the other one is for the Roots Duo with Eric Noden, where you
Right.
find more tunes and stuff like that. So be sure to subscribe. Everybody that's tuning in, subscribe to both channels. Your best education in this modern age of distraction out there is to focus on players that you love their sound and who are have something to offer that you can actually tangibly grab and work on and learn from. Joe is at the very top of that list in my opinion for players to seek inspiration from and to learn from. So be sure, good to see you guys. Be sure to do that. Hey, Ted and Hank, Charlie and Steve, thanks for being on here. YouTube members, thank you guys. What else? Is there anything exciting that maybe we haven't mentioned that's kind of like what are you? I know this is more interview style. Forgive me for it, but I'm curious about these things. Like what's coming up? Anything that no one knows about that I might not know about that's happening in 2025 that you're looking forward to? Is there a standout thing on the books at this point where you're like, I can't wait to do that? Besides Spa, I guess you could mention Spa might be one of those.
Well, that's always a memorable time. You have such a huge variety of talent, and there's very little competition and ego junk going on there with that. I think that folks just are happy to be there and interact, and I think that that's pretty rare in the musical world. So that's a really,
Yeah.
really, really special event. I'm going to be back as a solo teacher this year at Augusta Blues Week. So if you really want to like sit with me for numerous days and have me turn the heat on, I can definitely show you what you need to do to
Yeah.
take your playing to the next level. So
Well, that sounds like a good one. When is that? What month is that happening?
that is third week in July. Third week in July.
All right, folks. That's the week of the 14th through the 19th. That zone. Be checking that out. I can vouch for one thing is that if you catch Joe at Spa, he's wearing 15 hats, which means you might pin him down for a good moment and have a nice chat, but he's a busy guy, and there's a lot of moving parts happening at Spa that require his attention, and therefore you might not get as much of the undivided attention in a scenario like Spa always.
Yeah,
That's my experience.
that's true. I do typically do a seminar or workshop or two, but I'm generally there volunteering, helping out, seeing that the event goes well. So it's not a good place to try to connect with me for
Right.
lessons aside from
Right.
a few moments here, a few moments there. Yeah.
I will agree with you and say that it is an important place to visit and experience because it is very egoless and it's
Yeah.
there's so many great players under one roof. You just don't want to miss it. Go to spah.org and learn more. Be sure to support, register, sign up, become a member is the best way to support them, and then show up to the conventions. Learn. It's a steal. You can't. I mean, you're net for what you pay the cost of entry for, let's say 3 or 4 days at SPY. You're that's money that's so well spent. It's ridiculous. You can't really put a price on what you gain
Yeah.
from attending that. So
Yeah. Eric and I
yeah.
will also be back in Kerrville for the Kerrville
Mm.
Folk Festival for the harmonica event there, put on by Rob Roy, Parnell, and
Sure.
Michael Diaz. And do check out in March, third week in March, Eric and I will be doing our online Roots Duo Festival, which will feature
That's
a
right.
couple of concerts and some workshops. And you don't have to leave the comfort of your home if you got a secure internet.
Hey, this was a very successful event last year. You guys should check this out. It's really incredible what they compile with entertainment and education over the course of, is it 2 days or is it longer than two
Yes,
days?
2 days.
2 days. Yeah.
Yeah.
So and that's March. So maybe I'll tag all of this in the video description. But again, I'll also point out one last resource that I didn't mention, and that would be I'm typing it in to make sure I'm right rootsduo.com.
Correct.
Rootsduo.com is a place where you can get the new album and listen to that right away, at least listen to it. And then you can also check out the events that are coming up for the duo. Highly recommend you do all of these things. Man, I want to say here, take this opportunity to say how thankful I am to have you in my life, first and foremost, as a friend, but also as a mentor and inspiration. I appreciate you taking the time out of your day to just hang out and share that with the rest of my channel.
Thank you, Ronnie. It's really a delight for me. You asked, and I was immediately like, I got to make time for this. This is important.
Right on, man.
So
That's
thank
really
you.
cool. Well, we're not going to
Yeah.
take too much more time. We're going to say go wrap it up here, but thanks for everybody who joined live. Harmonica camp being held in Knoxville, Tennessee, says Thomas. Okay. Hello from Brazil, Fortaleza. Okay. Looking forward to my first spa this year. Charlie, you're going to have a blast. Be sure to say hello to everyone, to me, and to Joe when you get there. I know you will, but just don't be shy. And on that note, we'll be in touch again soon. Don't forget about the cool stuff coming with Harmonica 123 featuring Joe. Of course, that is not till a little later down the road. I want to say in May. I already mentioned it, but that is May 17th. You can learn more about that at harmonica123.com in the near future. And on that note, my friend, I hope you have a spectacular day.
Thank you. Same to you, my friend. The same to you.
All right, brother. Y'all take
Right on.
care. We'll see you
Ciao.
next time around.